Hello, this is Misc in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today I am going to go through all the books, journals, planners, etc. Everything I have in book form that I am actively using. So there's a lot actually. So grab yourself coffee and we will go through it while we sip our coffee. So I'm finished my coffee. So you can sip your coffee or tea, and let's have a look at all my books. First of all, I'm going to start with my planning stuff because I only have a little bit, and then that way my my viewers who just watch me for my planning antics can leave early. It's all my journaling and mixed media and all that other stuff is what will follow. So first of all, how do I plan? Well, this is my everyday carry, and it is a mini happy planner. I've used this brand for my everyday carry for the last 2 years, last year and this year, and I really like it. I only use the month spreads. I don't do any weekly planning in here, so it's just the months, and they're a mess. And I write down all the appointments. This is September's. It's already very full, and it's only like the 4th or 5th of the month as I'm recording this today. So that's what I do. So I write down all the appointments and the places and the events and, you know, the things that I need to know when and where they are and at what time. It goes down in here. And then what I do is I do creative daily journaling. And so far that's been in a Traveler's Notebook insert. And even though this is volume 6 and they've all been TN inserts so far, that doesn't mean they always will be. I would like to use a junk journal for one soon. So then what I do, and I don't even believe I've started September yet. Oh, okay. I've got the papers in there for the first day on here, which is September 3rd. So I'm not exactly caught up. I'm only a couple days behind though. So every night I sit down and I write out my journaling card, which let's see if I can find here. Okay, I've not only written it down, I've stuck it in. So I write on the back of a journaling card for my day's journaling. And this volume is volume 6, and it's starting with September 3rd, and it's not quite a big one. This is a handmade one that I bought from an Etsy store a very long time ago though, so I really don't know who. I do believe it came from Australia though. So this is the one I'll be working in the next little while. Then what I do is I have this weekly planner that I got from AliExpress, and I've been using this for a long time, very long time. And what I do at the end of the week, Sunday night usually, I sit in bed and I grab my daily journal and I will write down all the things that I want to put down in my rewind journal. Sorry, my rewind planner. Hopefully I can keep my planners and journals the right way around for the rest of this video. So I'll write down the things. Like this day, nothing happened, so I just wrote down that it was warm, and I arted most of the day. This day, a lot was going on. I had to go to the pain clinic, I had to go to the school, I had to film my Dyson Deal Challenge that I do, and so I wrote that stuff down. I just write down the stuff that I want to remember for my rewind planner. So I do Monday to Sunday in this, even though my other books are Sundays to Saturdays. This one is a Monday to Saturday because, and this is what it looks like again, AliExpress, It's called Animal Weekly Plan. I've seen them on there quite frequently, and they have several different animals to choose from, and they all have the cute little smile of your animal on the back. So I have set up my week, and I know exactly what's going to go in my Rewind planner, which is this one right here. I use a Happy Planner Big because I like this size. Mine is the rainbow watercolored one with the cover that says "Plans are dreams in the making." Though that's not true for my planner here, because this planner is Rewind planning and shows the dreams that already happened. So I'm not going to do a flip of this because I have a flip of it coming up. So let's take a look at July. You guys have already seen this. So what I do is I take this with all the things that I wanted to write down for the week, and I go to the week, and this is a Monday to Sunday planner as well. And then I write down all the things, and if I'm going to write on a sticker, I'll put the sticker in at the time, and then I decorate my page. And I'm new to this, so I don't really have a style yet. I'm watching people, getting ideas from them, and whatever. So I started this in May, and I am continuing it into September, and my planner goes up to December 2019, so we shall have this book for quite a while. So that is what I'm currently working, the books that I'm currently actively working in for my planning. And also, planners will be interested to stay around to see the next little section, because these are books in which I keep my stickers. If you watched my latest AliExpress, you'll see that I got this little booklet right here, and I keep my sticker flakes in it. This one's almost full, but this is the book that I'm going to use. I'm not going to get sticker flakes out of another book if I start to fill it in. It will be put on the side, and I'm only going to allow myself to have 2 of these books. So that's how I keep my sticker flakes, and there are 64 pages in here, front and back. Then stickers that come on sheets of paper get put into here. This is an old Recollections planner. It was the 2018 one. I only used it for a little while because I absolutely hated it. The cover kept falling off, and I just didn't like it. So I turned it into my sticker book. I take the sheets that come with stickers on it, and I put a piece of double stick tape on the back and slap it in. These can come off easy enough if I want to work with the whole sticker sheet. And I've filled it up. If a page gets empty, I will often put, oh, that's on that page. No. Okay. See, when pages get empty, they have the tape left behind, and they start to get sticky. So here's some empty spaces where I can put new stickers in. Any stickers that I buy new go in a drawer for which I am keeping them. I'm not going to use them until they get moved over into here, and how they get moved over into here is by me using these and creating empty spaces, like that one that you just saw has room. If I have a sticker page this size, it can go in here. So yeah, this is completely, oh, not completely full. It's actually got a lot of pages that don't, but it's reached its maximum capacity for use. I don't want it to be like the sticker flake book. This is thick and heavy, and it stays in my planning. I don't have a planning room, but I have a desk set up in the in our sitting room where I do my planning. Then the last thing, which is planner specific, let's stickers aren't planner specific, is I have a drawer full of planner stickers, and when a page gets almost empty, I will take the stickers off and move them into here. And this is a handmade sticker book, really. I had 2 of these. This was the front cover of one. See, Oxford, I don't really know what they were called. They're plastic, comb bound, and they have little pockets on each page, and I think there are 6. I had 2 of them, so I took the spiral binding out and I combined them into one, but I also cut the pockets so that they'd be an extra page. And so these are all leftover stickers from pages which were almost empty or had fewer stickers on them than they did have stickers. I'm trying to keep some kind of order to this, and I look in it first before I go searching through my sticker sheets. And these are my planning books. Next we'll just move on to, I've got some piles here, so let's just take them. These 2 books right here are meant to help me get rid of my list. Well, not get rid of my list habit, but more like get my list habit under control. As I look around my room, I see all sorts of lists. Most of them are laying on tables. There's some on the floor. There's some on the bed. Some of them are actually attached to my magnetic board. But I'm a list making, oh, see, here's one right here. I am a list making person. And so these 2 books are meant to help me cure the problem of leaving them all over the house. As you can see, it hasn't cured it yet, but it has helped. This one right here, I just the other day decided that I was going to start keeping quotes in it that I want to use in my junk journal and mixed media. Write them down in here. So I've just started doing that, so there aren't very many. But from the back, if I want to write a list that I need to tear out, you can see right there. See, I've torn pages out. From the back, I'll write a list, and then I have permission to tear it out when I need to tear it out. So, what if I just get an idea in my head and I need to write it down? That's usually what happens with that's usually what happens with most of my lists. And that's what this book is. If I started at the front, and I've torn some pages out of here, but if I started at the front and started reading through this, it would not make a lot of sense. And I've got some strange pages in here, stuff that I don't even understand, but other stuff that like totally makes sense to me. So yeah, if I need to, just like I get an idea, oh, I know what I need to buy, I write it down. Open the book, write it down. Or, oh, that's a great idea, I'll have to make that someday. Open the book, and I write it down. And this is just full of that. Or, I wonder how many episodes of Criminal Minds I've watched, and I'll open it up and I'll start listing them all. Oh, see, this list right here is for a comic book series called Injustice, Gods Among Us. And there's 2 series to it, and here I've written down the reading order of of how to read the 2 series together as one. So there's all sorts of things in there. Then the next thing that I have to keep track of is my addresses. So I have 2 address books, yes, 2, not just one. This one right here is Friends and Family, and I pretty much use this for, let me find a page with nothing on it. Yeah, so I've had this for a long time. It's just a normal address book, and the Friends and Family go in here, and pretty much, other than writing a new address down in it, the only time I ever use this is when I start sending out Christmas cards. But if you're in here, you get a Christmas card. The next one is this little one right here, which I've just started a few months back. I was starting to get, actually that pink notebook, I've put it over there now and I don't want to find it in the pile. I used to keep my swap partners' addresses in there, but it was starting to get messy and I couldn't find the address that I was looking for. So I went, duh, why don't I keep their addresses in an address book? So this is just a little address book, and I write down everybody who I swap with or send happy mail to, or an internet person's address just goes in here, and then on the telephone side I see where I met them, and I have some codes for certain groups and whatever if the name is too long to just write on that line. So yeah, that has really helped with my swapping and stuff. Okay, now we're going to get on to art. This is my washi sample book, and I saw somebody else doing this when they were doing a haul from AliExpress. They were laying down a piece of washi in a little booklet so that people can see what the washi looks like laid down on paper. And so I started doing it, and then I just started doing it with every single piece of washi that I get and own. Some of these, probably not a lot, but some of these, yes, have been used up. Yeah, I just finished one of these today. This one, no, this one. Yesterday I finished that one. But I'm not gonna bother about taking out ones that I've used up. It's a good way of seeing the washi that I have, and it will be a good way of seeing the washi that I don't have anymore and I used to have. It's pretty to look at. So that's how I keep that, and I will actively continue to buy washi, so I will also actively continue to record it. Then, okay, this book right here is half a magazine, and I am using the other half for something, so let me just find it. Okay, I was talking about this, and after an inexcusably long time of looking for the other half, I realized I wasn't doing anything with the other half, and I don't need it. So, cut this into half because I don't generally like working with full-size pieces of like books and binders and stuff. So if I can, I'll work in something smaller. Now, I actually got this idea, well, not the particular idea, but it gave me an idea watching Leather and Jade once. She was talking about having a use it up book, and I've always done that. You know, stick the bits of collage paper that you're not using into a book and then wipe off your paint in it, and you know, do both of the same things. But for a while now, the last little while, I've been doing my paint, but I haven't really been keeping my collage bits of paper, and I used to. So I was thinking about that, and I cut this magazine in half, and what I'm doing is I just flip to a page like this, and I'm only putting them on this side, but these are all the bits of paper that come from all my different projects and stuff. If it's got a little bit of design or color or interesting text, or as long as it's not plain blank white, like here's a piece of graph paper. It's got little blue white lines on it, so I lay them down in here and I let them collect a little bit. I have a plate, let me reach over here because it's right here. I have a little plate right here where I put the bits, and then when that starts to overflow while I'm watching TV, I'll start gluing them down in here. Now I'm only doing it on this side of the page, and let's find a page that, oh here, this one's just been started. This page, like if you look, this page right here, I haven't done anything to, but it's already got a picture here, so I will put my bits and pieces around it, and that's what I'm doing here. And I think I'm going to leave that one like this because the page is all covered with color. And this one right here I'm working on, and I'm putting the pieces around these two pictures right here. So why am I only working on this side? Because what I plan to do is pull out the pages when they're completed, like this one is completed. It's got a couple of pictures from the book in it. This one didn't have anything on it that I wanted to save except for this little bit right here. The rest of it's all stuck down bits of paper. So what I'm planning on doing is taking that out and then using it for die cuts. I'm going to cut my die cuts out of here, do some shapes and stuff for my art, and do some tags, maybe some frames. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet because I'm not big with my die cut machine. I'll sit down and use it in one go type of thing, but it's not what I bring out all in a day. One day I'll feel like doing this and I'll bring out the book and pull out the pages that are full. So yeah, that's how I'm using this. Then this was my current glue book. I had just finished one. If you've seen my last glue book flip, it was about this size, and I thought, you know what, it'd be fun to work on a much bigger scale. So I started glue booking in this, and it did not take me very long at all to not like this size for glue booking. It's too big for me. I don't like just this kind of collage and this size and whatever. So I gave up. I picked another book that's more my size, and even though I haven't done much in it lately because I haven't been glue booking lately, I've been doing my glue books in here. I like to make pictures that have messages. I like looking at this kind of collage, but I don't like making it with putting the layers of colors and stuff. I like to have main focus, and well, I've been putting main focuses on here too because that's just what I do, and then afterwards to go through and find a appropriate word for it. So this is what I'm working on. I did one the other day. I actually did a 2-page one, even though I usually do 1 pages. But yeah, this is just a little kind of like a Sanrio book from 1991 that I picked up somewhere, and that's my current glue book. So we've done that now. So I gave up on this, and instead of leaving the pages blank, I thought, you know what, I'll do what I've always wanted to do ever since I heard of them, and I joined the YouTube community years and years after this idea came up. But I believe it was Caged Fish who came up with the scavenger hunt book. And then someone else, I think it was Tammy Green, took the idea and ran with it and renamed it the En Masse Journal. I believe I have the history of that correct. So in the front of the book, starting on page 32, I've got the page numbers, and I always leave this little bit right here empty so that I can put so I can see the page number. And if I accidentally cover it up like I did here, I rip it off. Well, I ripped that one off too. Oh, yay, here's one that I actually remembered. So I started writing down, these are some stuff that I have to put in it. So, oh boy, am I talking fast? Am I talking too fast? Am I talking too loud? People always tell me I talk too loud. Okay. So, I was getting out of breath. That's why I think I was talking too fast. But anyways, I guess I just don't want this to be like terribly long. It's 28 minutes and we have a little bit to go yet. So I'm writing down the page number and the topic that I'm doing on each page. Like 32 is flamingos, 44 is boats, and I have turned the dot into a check mark on that one because that page is finished. 52 is hearts, 56 is musical instruments, and I finished that one, and so on to my latest category I added was page 74, and that's Japanese. I have a lot of pages to go in here for which I haven't picked themes yet. As I'm cutting through magazines, I have picked things that I like as my original categories. I just picked those. But now as I'm cutting through magazines, I start to see that there's a thing that's repeated quite often, and that I could probably get a lot of pictures for it. And if I like it, I'll add it to the book. And that's what I intend to do with this one, is to continue on. So yeah, I'll just show you a couple of pages. We'll do a flip when it's done, which could be years. But this is page 64, and it's fruit. It's almost done. 66 is washi. Right now I use this for any scraps that I have left over and any washi that's attached to Happy Mail and parcels and stuff that I get. 68 is books. 70 is the Russian nesting dolls, which are called Matryoshka. Matryoshka. I call them Matryoshka, which I don't know if is right or not, but I love these things. Then shoes. And finally Japanese. I have a whole bunch more in here and I didn't show you. But one page that I completed, I tried something on it, and I think, I don't know, let's have a look at it. Let's see if I can find that page. Yeah, this one I'm really liking. It's brand names. Here we go. Here's my bird page. I finished it, and I had spaces left over that I kept trying to fit a bird on, but they covered up too much of the birds that were there. So this looks like it's empty on there, but it's not. It's a seagull on the other side of a fence looking through. He looks like he's in jail. So I had these little spots left over. Some of them were big, but I still couldn't get a good image in there. So I decided to color them in. Now I think I like it. I think I'll continue to do that, but I need to choose my color better. This color is way too bright for this page. It matches the blue in his wing. That's probably why I chose it, but yeah, that's just way too obnoxious. I think I'm going to try it again on a page that I have finished. See, this was supposed to be sky, but I'm finished my boat page, which is blue too. So I think that what I'll do is I'll try a pencil crayon, maybe even an ink tense. That might work. And I'm going to color it in with like a watercolor. A watercolor, or a color for water to fill in the spaces. Here we are. This is my boat page. It's all done. There's just a little peak here, a couple peaks there. I guess teeny few more there. So I'm so happy that on my boat page I got a coracle. I remember reading a book about the Welsh. Oh, it was a fairy story. It was about the Welsh, but it began with a man and a coracle, and I've always been fascinated with them since then. Yeah, I think it was a Tam Lin, a book about Tam Lin, the myth or the legend, whatever you want to call it, epic poem. So, yeah, so this is my en masse book, even though the first half of it is a glue book. And I keep pages in here, and then when I pick it up and work on it, so this is another thing that I can do in bed. The thing is that I unfortunately spend a lot of time in bed watching TV because sometimes I just don't have energy, and you know, that's from having fibromyalgia. And I mean, if I do something one day, the next day I definitely need to have a recuperation day. But sometimes you just wake up in the morning and you just don't have any energy. And so, you know, it's like having depression, because I have that too. I take medication, which works pretty good, but I know when depression's at its worst, you just wake up in the morning and you have no energy. You just don't want to get out of bed. So that happens to me with the fibromyalgia, except that I physically can't get out of bed. I also have a very bad back with a couple of different conditions that doesn't help much either, so sometimes I have to lay in bed just because that's where I like to spend my own time, and I'll watch shows on YouTube or whatever and keep myself busy with these non wet medium. These are kind of like dry medium crafts that I do. So enough about me. I don't know if you're here to hear my life story or to see my stuff. Okay, so this idea I 100% stole, whatever you want to call it, from Cindy Utter. She had, I can't remember if she did it in a book or if she did it in a binder, but what she does is, and here I'll give you a pretty picture to look at. What she does is that, you know, when she's finished with a Somerset studio, or when she looks at her pile of the last 15 years of Somerset studio, you know, she started cutting them up and using them. And that's what I'm doing too, because there's nothing in a 1999 issue of Somerset Studio that, if I browse through that magazine, there might be one or two pictures that still stimulate me today, because, you know, those magazines go through phases and fads and stuff. Back in the early 2000s, you're going to find nothing but dunce hats and wings on people. So, you know, once you're over that, you're over it. So, this is what Cindy Utter does, and it is what I do now too, is flip through a magazine. If there's anything that speaks to you, cut it out and keep it in a separate book, which is just for your own personal perusal, except instead of flipping through a magazine that has hundreds of pictures that don't inspire you and a few that do, you're now going to be flipping through your own handmade magazine that only contains pictures that inspire you. Like, it's not stuff that I'm going to copy, but these are the colors that I use. They're the colors that I wear. I just absolutely love these bright colors, and I like this doodling shape right here with the line and the dot at the end. I do that, but these have dashes across them and a couple of dots. So that's an idea I might take and put in my artwork. So that was a whole picture that I got there. I won't go through the whole book because it'll get its own flip at some time. But if we take a look at this page, I think, oh no, that's the way it goes. Okay, so this is actually from a cloth, paper, scissors, this page and this page here. So this one here, I really like trees that are circles, but I did it recently in one of my mixed media projects, but I forget to do it. Like, I don't do it very often, even though I love it. So this is to remind me there's this, and this. These are flowers. They're not trees, but they're made with circles. I love that. I need to do it more often. I'm in love with houses. I used to draw pictures of houses and farms when I was a kid. I just absolutely love this basic child's form of a house, and then you add this if you want it to be a barn. So I loved doing that. This gives me how to draw a leaf. I'm terrible at drawing leaves, but look at this. I can get that shape down correctly. I can't draw very well, but I look at this and I can definitely draw an owl head that shape, and it will look like an owl. Then, like I said, I'm not just picking stuff out of the craft mixed media magazines. I've actually got art magazines. This is from Little U, which is put out by Uppercase, and I saved this because I like the idea. We just talked about houses. Well, I like the idea of putting eyes on houses. We'll just let that go. So, yeah, putting the eyes on the house. Now here, this is from, Oh, I don't know what this is from. It's probably from Uppercase or Collage. I think it might be Collage magazine. It's Kollaj, I believe is how they spell it. I like circles. Circles is something that I like, and this is just a pile of circles. And it looks so depressing. It just, and there's lines, squiggles going down here like they're taking root. Really speaks to me. Gives me an idea of something to do with circles. This one right here, it's visually appealing to me because of the circles, but I like circle heads. And this is a very simple, easy face that I could draw. This one right here is to remind me to put strange things for heads. Usually I automatically go towards putting a head and then making up a body, even drawing it myself, like making a body like this, though mine are always rounded. So this is to remind me to use a crazy head on a normal body. And this one is to remind me of two things. I just like this collaged bit on the main image, but it's also to remind me you can do a 2-page spread which is heavy on one side and negative space on the other. I feel like I have to fill them up and that they have to be balanced, you know, here and here, or, you know, kind of like off center but covering, you know, I always need to find my balance. And this is heavy on this side. And it still looks attractive. That's to remind me to do that. These here are definitely taken from Collage magazine. These are just throwing paint at a page that is covered with collage elements and discerning a picture in there somewhere that you're keeping out. Like, this was probably started off as a magazine image of a building, but they've covered it up with paint, and there's splotches and there's drips, and it's to remind me to do that. I like drips. That's it. We don't need to go any further. So that's what I'm doing with this book, is I'm cutting up my art magazines, any kind of art magazine, anything I find that's compelling to me, that gives me an idea of something that I want to do in my art, I'm sticking it in there. So, I'm going to go a little bit quicker right now because I'm getting tired of talking and this is getting long. Okay, this is an altered book that I started probably in the early 2000s. I want to start working in it again, so I've put it in my pile of books, and hopefully I'll pick it up on rotation. And I'll show you one of my favorite pages, and then that's it. So, I don't make interactive pages very much, but I did one in here, and I like it. If I can find it. Here we are. This was probably my favorite page in here. And then I've got this wooden heart on there. It says peek. Open it up, a piece of lace, and a little picture of the lady. So there. An interactive page. So yeah, hopefully you'll see me working in that. That doesn't belong here. Hey, this is my prayer journal. I have been carrying it around with me, but I've only filled up the first little bit right here, and it just doesn't inspire me very much. I want to make a proper prayer journal, and I will take some of the stuff that's in here and put it over into the other one. I want a junk journal. I don't like working in this because I've gessoed the pages. It was a Sudoku book, and I don't want those there, but I don't mind them. I don't mind them showing through the gesso, but I've got to a certain point and I just don't want to gesso the pages in it anymore. And I don't know, I want something else to carry around as a prayer journal. This is my mini art journal. You've seen pictures on Etsy of me working in here. Let's see if not Etsy. I'm not even on Etsy. You've seen pictures on Instagram of here. Let's see if I can find one I did recently. I think I was finishing off this section over here. Okay, yeah, there's one that I did recently. Not, that was done from a prompt challenge, so not exactly my best, but it was the best I could do with the prompts given. Okay, and then this is all one project right here. This is something that I started a long time ago, and I want to get back into doing it. I have this magazine, which is falling apart, but which I am very carefully keeping together and in order. This is a Canadian woman's magazine called Chatelaine, and it is from the month of April, year 1989. That is the exact year and month, April 28th, 1989, to be exact, that I gave birth to my first child. So it has meaning to me, and it also, stuff in here reminds me of my whole teenage years. So what I'm doing is I'm taking it from the beginning and going scrap by scrap. And, okay, this is a picture that was in the book that I just didn't want to cover up because my youngest son had drawn it. But I take each page and I, basically this is a smash book. I put on collages like here. This is Connie Selica. And it says, after a day on the set, I go straight to therapy. It was an ad for this. Flex, I put hot because that was a word back then. New You, 89 makeup and know-how. Win a 1989 car. Revlon, oh that's Revlon Flex right there. And I made, and I'll jot down some things right here. It says, April 1989, I was so old. My son was born on such and such, and I had been married so many somethings. And down here I've got Connie Selica was the girlfriend on America's Greatest Hero. And then I remember having a regular role on Hotel. So, do one more page. So, I've got Seth here, Julian Lennon, the word pop. This is a thing talking about Roy Orbison's last album. This is was a little thing on Neil Diamond. This was an advertisement for the Epilady. And didn't we all have to run out and get this marvelous creation, the Epilady, in 1989? Well, here is my little write-up about the excruciating experience of using one of those things. So, and so on. Here, I cut out some little pieces of makeup because I had this exact makeup. I was a CoverGirl as a teenager. Always used CoverGirl, and I had this exact, I had that. So I put those in there. Oh, I was a CoverGirl. I wrote that on there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I will hopefully do some work in it and give that a proper flip. So, the only thing left is my current junk journal that I'm working in. This is almost done. I'll open up to, let me open up to a spread that's done. Oh, of course I'm not finding any. Okay, here, we can stay here. So this is almost done. And this is what I'm concentrating on working on right now. And I want to finish it, hopefully this month. I don't know if that's being over optimistic or not, but I'm going to finish it this month or next month, and then I'll give you a proper flip through of it. But it's a junk journal glue book collage kind of thing, and its theme is vintage women. So that's the last thing that I'm currently working on. So next up is this one right here. This is a junk journal that's been done in the standard traveler's notebook size. Oh, we got a lot of sun shining in the window now. This is my Happy Mail book. I just started this. I made it a very long time ago, but I just started it, and in this I am going to make a page for every Happy Mail that I receive. So I've done one page in here back in August. Haven't got around to doing anything else in here, but if you want to send me Happy Mail, I'd love to do a swap with you. My email is down below, and you just contact me and we can make arrangements to swap Happy Mail with each other. So there's that one. And then this one right here is, yeah, this is my current art journal. It was about 3/4 of the way full, and I hadn't used it for a very long time, so I've decided to go back in and fill up the empty pages. So I've got stuff, I think the earliest pages, oh wait, at the front here, I have some dates. I first started off with this like doing it as a written journaling book, so there's about 5 pages in here that I kept just so that I would remember that time in my life and how I tried it and didn't like it. So yeah, started it in 2006, then moved it over into a art journal, and then I have stuff like this. It was done in 2007, and no dates there, 2007. And then this is a recent one that I did in 2018. And what do we got? This one's 2018 as well. So yeah, I am getting close to being done this. There aren't an awful lot of spreads. If I work this month quite a bit doing art spreads, I should have that finished and be able to pick out a new art journal to do. Which would probably be this one, but not necessarily. I might feel like starting something blank. This one right here is my current use it up journal, where I put paint on the pages, and yeah, I don't really work on making them look pretty. It's just whatever color I'm using, and this one, I don't know if you can see, but it's got texture paste on it. So yeah, whatever I have something to use up, I just plop it in there, and I'm almost done. I'm almost done doing that, so I'll have to find a new one. And finally, you guys saw this one recently. This is my junk journal that my sister made me, which I am using to transfer my stamp collection over into. So I'll just show you the last couple of pages I've done. I've been working on this off screen, so I've done more since that video I put up. So here we go. I'm in the 1950s of Australia now. Whole page there. This is a pocket. So I put this set here. And these are some singles, as are these. And so are those, and I'm adding the fibers to the tags. She didn't do that, and I really like that she didn't do that, because I'm able to choose one that goes with the card, and they're all starting to look alike right now. The book only has a couple of tags up at the front, but when it's done it will be huge, and it'll be fun to watch that happen rather than having had it done for me. So yeah, that's it. That is every single book and planner and journal that I am working in. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have other journals that I've started, and I have tons of them, and they're in a plastic tub, and they're not being worked on. And I also have a ton of journals which I made for no reason. They're not being worked in. I just made them because, guess what? I like to make journals and traveler's notebook inserts. So I just make them and put them away, and one day I will work in them. So if you stayed this far, then congratulations to you, and you deserve a thumbs up. But if you don't mind, I sure would appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do that, you will be able to, ring the bell. Then you will be able to catch the next further adventures of Nikki in Niagara. So to you all, I send my best blessings and toodaloo. Bye-bye.